Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. Just want to do a quick review for another Netflix series that I finished watching. This one's for Messiah. This is new. Just came out this year, so it's from 2020. This is a 10 episode series. Sorry, I'm not sure what the guy said. The only person I recognized was Michelle Monaghan. I've seen her in other movies in previously. The other characters I really wasn't too sure who they were. I've never seen them before. It's about a guy who I believe they say he's from. I'm trying to remember where he's from. If he was from Iran, but his parents were almost Christian. They thought he was originally like Islam type of thing, but they said his mother was a Christian. I forget what his father was, so he wasn't brought up like other people around him, I guess. So it sets up with this guy who thinks he's Jesus or the Messiah, whatever you want to call it. But nobody ever said they ask him, but he just says like, "What do you think?" Like you won't directly answer them, and so it starts off where he's in Syria and he leads these people out of Syria to I think it was Jordan, to the border of Jordan, I believe it was, and they wouldn't let them through, and they arrest him for trying to accuse him of doing something wrong when he really didn't do anything wrong. And while he's in detention, he disappears and he ends up in a small town in Texas. Also, he's just there. I guess he flew there on a plane. I don't know how he could have possibly flown in the short amount of time that it took him to get there. And he goes to this small town, and a tornado hits the town, and he stands outside this church, and the tornado kind of goes right by him and tears up everything in its path except for him. So these people get on their phone recordings of this guy with the tornadoes not touching him, and they start to believe that he's again he's the Messiah. He's going to save them all, and kind of creates this following. And the more all these people start showing up out of nowhere in this small town. The only thing left in this area is the church that's left standing. So it kind of like almost like an Area 51 type of thing. All these people show up out of nowhere to kind of just stay there until he does something so they can follow him or listen to whatever he has to say, even though he doesn't say a whole lot during the whole he talks, but he doesn't give a whole lot of information. Like people ask questions, but he doesn't give them direct answers. So the whole series goes about him trying to save the world, trying to create peace, and nobody really wants to. They all think he's crazy. The people follow him. They think he's really, the savior or the Messiah or whatever you want to call it. So they all want to follow him. But as far as like the governments and officials and FBI and CIA and other officials from other countries that are trying to also capture him because they think he's just crazy, that he should be locked up and he's not the Messiah, and they don't believe a word he says. But all these weird things keep happening that almost point out that maybe he is. There's a part where he walks on water. It was in Washington. I forget the name of the monument. I don't know if it's just Washington Monument. I know what the monument. I don't know what the body of water, if there's a name for it. But it's in Washington, and he walks across in front of like thousands of people, and it's on national TV. But people, the governments again still don't want to believe him. They just think he's a crazy guy who believes he's Jesus, and he's going to cause all kinds of problems, getting people to follow him when he really is not going to show them anything or do anything of significance. He's just going to cause more trouble. And then he's going to instead of creating peace, he's causing problems because they think, okay, he's just lying, he's just making this up. And it's dangerous for people to follow somebody who's not what they say they are, and the people are going to do things that he says to do. He's really not telling people. He's just somebody says, what should I do? He says, think about it. What do you think you should do? He doesn't answer. He never really answers the questions for people. He just gets people to believe him without them or him really doing or saying much. He's trying to convince people to stop killing each other and be peaceful and do what God wants them to do. I don't know. It was alright. It was some parts a little bit long and drawn out. I don't remember the name of the minister. I'm looking at the cast here. I don't know if it was John A.T.'s. Maybe I think it was played Felix. I don't know. I didn't even like the character. I don't know. I just thought that was kind of annoying. but for the most part, it's kind of drawn to a lot of talking. There's a few action, minor action sequences. That's for action meaning like the tornado scene, and I'm going to driving to Washington. All these cars are falling down the roads. Stuff like that. But it was like nothing tremendous. It was more like I'd say like this series is more like just a drama series. Some parts can like I said, are kind of long and drawn out, and you're like waiting for something to happen. I don't really want to give away how the ending is, so I'm like I won't talk about. But the ending leaves on a cliffhanger. That was pretty good. I don't know. I think I'll probably still watch it because I want to see what happens now. I wouldn't say it was fantastic. I think it was a decent series, but it wasn't. If I had to watch this again, I don't think I would because it's really it was kind of boring some parts. I'm not a huge fan of drama series where there's more talking and long and drawn out stories, and I want something to happen. But this was okay. It just wasn't great. It's a 10-part series on Netflix right now, and it is new. I hope maybe the second season will be a little bit better. I guess if you're into like the biblical type of stuff or story-driven religion series or movies, I think you'll enjoy this because people want to believe in Jesus, but you see from the other perspective where if Jesus existed today, people would think he was a nut job, and it just wouldn't happen. I can see where people would think he was crazy. I can't imagine if Jesus were alive today, some guy showed up and said, "I'm Jesus." Is anybody gonna really believe him? Probably not, unless he makes something really significant happen, like kind of prove you're Jesus type of thing. Other than that, they'd be like, he's just a nut job, lock him up in a hospital, which is what they want to do in this series. Nobody really believes it, except for the immediate people who are actually following, but most officials just don't believe it. They just think he's full of it and there's something wrong with the guy. So I think that's gonna wrap up this review. I'm not gonna go through the whole cast list. I just know that there was a few names that I recognize. The guy who's playing Messiah, was it Mehdi Debbie? I don't know how you pronounce his name. I've never seen him in anything else, so I don't really know much about him. I think that's good about it. If you guys like this video, give me a like, give me a subscribe. Until next time.